Good morning, students of Level 7, Falcon House Grammar School, Campus 9. This is Sir Marshall here, and today we're basically going to be continuing the chapter that we have been doing, okay, which is called land supply. Okay, so today we're basically going to be continuing from page number 51, okay, from the subtopic restoring derelict land. Okay, so what is a derelict land, bacho? Derelict land basically is that land that cannot be used for agriculture purposes. Why? Because it has been damaged. Now, a land can be damaged in multiple ways. For example, too much farming can reduce the fertility of the soil and it can become damaged. Also, erosion can damage the land as well because it takes away the topmost layer of the soil, which is the most what you can say, rich with fertility. Okay, also we are told that too much irrigation can also damage the land. Why? Because the salt content increases in the land. Okay, so by all these things a land can be damaged and it can thus become a derelict land. Now we are told that we can do something about it. What can we do about it? Well, we can, if for example the fertility of the soil is lost, we can introduce fertilizers in it or add fertilizers in it that increases the fertility of the soil again. Now, in order to combat against erosion, what farmers basically do is that they can plant shelter belts. Shelter belts are basically plants. Okay, the plants can be planted on a land in a straight line that basically protects the land against erosion. Okay, so this can be done. By doing this, a land can be saved from becoming a derelict land, and if it in fact becomes a derelict land, it can be recovered back from it. Okay, now we are told that Thal reclamation project was one such example. It was a desert. Okay, but by basically providing water, by providing fertilizers and shelter belts, by planting shelter belts, they were able to basically use the land for agriculture purposes. They were able to basically convert it into an arable land. Okay, so this is what we can do in order to recover the land. Now, another thing that we can do is basically another way land can be damaged is through mining. Okay, now during mining we are told that ground is dug up to cover ground is dug up basically to extract minerals. We are also told that minerals can be released into the soil. Okay, which are basically extracted from the mine itself. Okay, all of these things basically destroy the land. Okay, and it makes it uninhabitable, and also it cannot become arable at all because the soil is basically mixed with chemical waste and all that, so it becomes completely damaged. However, we are told that damaged land through mining can be recovered as well. We are told that the gaps can be filled, okay, by water, and also the chemical waste can be extracted. Okay, and by adding fertilizers again, and by doing all of that again, the land can become arable. We are told that we have been given examples. As you look at figure 5.21, okay, the picture shows a place which was previously a mining area, but then from there onwards, from then basically it was transformed into a public resort kind of a thing. Not a resort, but it was kind of like it was basically for recreational purposes. Okay, now we are told basically that mining when mining is basically done in a land, we can basically recover it. How do we recover it? As I told you, the holes can be filled up by water, okay, or by earth. Okay, the contaminated soil can be treated by adding fertilizers. Okay, cover vegetation can be introduced to fight soil erosion, and through all this, land can be recovered from mining. Okay, when you look at page number 53, we are told irrigation. Now, irrigation is also one of the best ways through which we can recover the land. For if not recover the land, then we can convert the land for arable uses, for agriculture uses. Deserts are basically one such areas which are traditionally non-arable. Okay, up to 13% of the earth's surface is basically covered with hot deserts, and naturally we know that we cannot grow any crops on deserts. However, Okay, with the recent increase in technology, what we can basically do is that we can use parts of desert and convert it into an agriculture area. For example, examples can be given to are given to us. We have already seen Thal reclamation project, which was a desert. Now it is basically used for agriculture purposes. We are also told that, there are many such areas in the world now which previously used to be deserts, okay, but now we through irrigation are able to convert it into an arable area. Okay, now if we turn the page again, page 54, what we are basically looking at, maximizing available land. What does it mean? Well, basically it means that because land supply is not that much, we know land is a scarce commodity. So one of the ways that the humans have basically developed in making optimum use of the land is by high rise building. What are high rise buildings? They're basically tall buildings with multiple stories. Why do people make that? Is because people at maximum can live in a small area, the point of a high rise building is that multiple people can live in that building. Now, areas where there is a really small availability of land, like Singapore and Hong Kong, there we are told that majority of the people actually live in high rise building, okay, so that they can make use of the small amount of land available. Okay, so this is something that has been taken up recently, especially in India as well, with Mumbai. It's a huge city. Okay, the land is becoming a scarce commodity. So what people are doing nowadays is that they're making high-rise buildings so that many people can live in it. Okay, so what it does is that increases the density of the area as well, but that is something people are willing to accept, or that is something people are, they do not have a problem with it. Now, terrace farming is also one thing. What is terrace farming? Well, basically it is farming done in a mountain or a hill by making terraces. Basically small terraces are made up, it's a man-made thing. A man usually makes small terraces as they're going along a hill or a mountain. Okay, this is basically done so that they can grow crops over there. Okay, it's a fascinating idea, it's a fascinating practice. I want you to look it up. It's done especially in China. Rice farming especially is done in China. Through terrace farming, it's done in Pakistan as well, in the northern area. So it's a very amazing thing. Lastly, we look at soilless cultivation. With increase in technology, what we have been basically told is that we now don't need soil. We can basically grow crops on trays. Okay, then again there's a small amount of soil that we need to use, but generally it doesn't take a lot of land, as we can we can put the trays over one another and we can grow crops over there. So that is something with the recent technology we have been able to do, but then again it is extremely expensive and it requires a special amount of area and skill set to be practiced. So this is it. I hope you've understood everything that we have done. If not, you can always get back to me. All right. Take care, everyone. Allah Hafiz.